Gaza Metro Tunnel System. Where did the over 5,000 rockets armed by Hamas come from and how long did they last? The Gaza Strip has been completely sealed off by the Israelis using various means such as tall separation walls, buffer zones between the walls, fully automated machine gun checkpoints, sensors every few tens of meters, fighter jets, and a maritime surveillance network composed of patrol boats. Gaza wants to communicate with the outside world, but communication at sea is completely impossible. There is also a more than 60-kilometer-long separation wall on the land of Gaza, completely enclosing this 365-square-kilometer area. This separation wall was built after the Israelis returned autonomy to the Palestinians in Gaza in 1994, but there were still Israeli civilians and troops in Gaza at that time. In 2005, Israel withdrew from Gaza, with both civilians and troops withdrawn, but control of the Gaza border continued and continues to this day. Out of the over 60-kilometer-long separation wall, 11 kilometers are located on the border between Gaza and Egypt, while the remaining 50 kilometers are located on the border between Gaza and Israel. It is difficult to assess the scale of the network, which Israel refers to as the Gaza Metro, because it is believed to be located in a territory only 41 kilometers, 25 miles, long and 10 kilometers wide. It is believed that the tunnels in Gaza are located 30 meters, 100 feet, below the surface. After the conflict in 2021, the Israeli Defense Forces stated that they destroyed over 100 kilometers of tunnel in air strikes. Meanwhile, Hamas claims that its tunnel is 500 kilometers long, with only 5% hit. To be precise, the London Underground has a total length of 400 kilometers, most of which are located on the ground. At the forefront of this separation wall is a buffer zone, which is adjacent to the Israeli side and is surrounded by a circular road. The road then leads towards Israel, forming a barbed wire fence. There is a machine gun tower every 2 kilometers on the barbed wire network, with a large number of sensors on the wall, and Israeli troops patrolling nearby. In 2017, Israel also built some underground separation walls in certain areas and installed sensors inside the walls that could sense civil work. If this wall is designed to prevent zombies, no one thinks there is any problem. The only communication channels between the Gaza Strip and the outside world are the 2 checkpoints left by the Israelis. A checkpoint is the Erez checkpoint located in northern Gaza. This is used to monitor the transportation of goods between Gaza and Israel. Another checkpoint is the Kerem Shagam checkpoint located in southern Gaza. Apart from being able to monitor communication between Gaza and Israel, all goods from Egypt also pass through Israeli and Egyptian checkpoints before arriving here, and then undergo another inspection before entering the Gaza Strip. Many desperate Palestinians often wrap themselves around bombs and rush towards Israeli border checkpoints, attempting to blow them up, but often in vain. There are also many armed members of Hamas who attempt to blow up the barbed wire and the separation wall with rockets they have finally obtained, but often to no avail. The Palestinians have also demolished some sections of the separation wall several times, but it was quickly repaired by the Israelis. Although the large open-air cage built by the Israelis may seem unbreakable, do not underestimate the wisdom of the Palestinian fellow villagers. One of the ultimate secrets to breaking the Israeli blockade lies in the mysterious Gaza Tunnel. The tunnels in Gaza are complex, and the initial goal of Palestinians building them may have been to escape from the Gaza Strip and live a better life in Egypt. But over time, Hamas militants, commercial companies, human snake companies, and even catering companies and individuals are all digging tunnels, not to escape, but to make a living. In fact, it is also difficult for Palestinians who go out through tunnels to find jobs in Egyptian cities. Egypt is not wealthy either, and they do not even have ID cards and will not be accepted at all. Of course, Hamas armed tunnels are all used to transport weapons and equipment, but in fact, more Gaza tunnels are used to transport daily necessities. Gaza has no cigarettes, no audio and video products, no flour, no steel and cement, no livestock, no medical supplies. In short, many things that can be integrated into daily life are missing. In 2008, Hamas briefly broke through Israel's blockade, resulting in a large influx of Palestinians into Egyptian cities, almost sweeping away a large amount of living supplies. Many of these people later returned to Gaza and started working as tunnel transporters. Catering enterprises are a common type of enterprise in the Gaza tunnel. Take fried chicken cola as an example. There is a famous ethnic fried chicken enterprise CFC in Palestine, but it only operates in the West Bank of the Jordan River. In addition, Pizza Hut and KFC are also in Ramallah on the West Bank. If the villagers in Gaza cannot eat fried chicken, then naturally someone will come up with a solution. In order to do business, many Palestinians in Gaza have started tunnel business. For example, Palestinian Khalil Afranji built a Gaza catering tunnel specifically to deliver meals to Gaza, including KFC. Palestinian villagers can contact the Yamama company of Khalil Afranji through satellite phone, and he will send people to the nearest big city in the Gaza Strip to Egypt, Arishma, KFC. The distance between the two places is approximately 45 kilometers. As for why not go to the West Bank to buy, the main reason is that Israeli soldiers will stick the colonel's chicken nuggets with bayonets at checkpoints to prevent any dangerous items from inside. After Egyptian brothers buy KFC, they will transport them by truck to the tunnel entrances in the Gaza border area, which are very hidden. Then the Palestinians pass through the tunnel and are transported by specialized transport personnel to the Gaza Strip, with the exits often located under their beds or even in public toilets. After such transportation, the price of a whole family bucket may reach as high as $30, which is equivalent to the price of 4 whole chickens, but buyers still come in droves. The customers of these orders are often Palestinian life seekers who have left Gaza before. They have eaten KFC outside, so they miss it immensely after returning to Gaza. At the best of times, Dove Company can deliver 100 orders a week, with a profit of up to $6 per order. Later on, the Pigeon Company even had to wait until 30 orders were collected before delivering them together, and the person who ordered the meal had to wait 1 day before delivering it the next day. Some small tunnels in the Gaza Strip can only be squatted and walked, with a length of less than 1 kilometer. But some large tunnels can even smuggle cars, and even electric tricycles can pass freely inside, with a length exceeding 10 kilometers. Some tunnels are even more complex, with schools built by Hamas and underground weapons and ammunition production factories inside. Of course, these schools are not for learning knowledge, but for Hamas armed forces to cultivate the next generation of armed personnel. The tunnel school here is filled with portraits of Palestinian armed personnel who have performed meritorious deeds, as well as specialized weapon management rooms and shooting ranges, allowing these Palestinian children and young people to practice shooting and indoor combat skills. In the future, they can serve to break through the Israeli blockade. Before 2017, there were approximately 700 tunnels in Gaza, and Palestinians received billions of dollars in humanitarian aid from around the world every year. The New York Times speculated that they spent almost half of their money on building tunnels. After 2017, Israel began to continuously crack down on Gaza tunnels. Many famous tunnels in the past have been destroyed or closed, and even many tunnels transporting ordinary daily necessities have been destroyed by the Israelis. But as long as the Israeli separation wall is not dismantled for a day, the tunnels in Gaza will not be completely destroyed, and these tunnels will continue to play the role of smuggling lifelines. This time, Hamas's 5,000 rockets were probably transported in from these tunnels. Hamas militants may have transported the corresponding materials through different tunnels to underground production factories, where they completed the assembly of rockets. The Israeli personnel did not discover these tunnels in advance, nor did they seize prohibited items that had already been transported to the Gaza Strip. For the Palestinians, this war is extremely crucial. Only by striking Israel hard on the battlefield can we have the opportunity to negotiate the lifting of the Gaza separation wall, otherwise it will only make the wall thicker. How to complete the reconstruction by then is a headache.